94% of meme coin traders keep losing money chasing the same down-only scam coins. Right now, while the market is absolutely primed to pump, these 11 Solana meme coins are exploding right as we speak, with some of them just preparing for an insane move up, and hardly anyone notices them. Today, in this video, you're getting the breakdown of entries and exits of 11 Solana tiny coins, showing these signs of exact takeoff right now, and reasons on why exactly these coins are actually the ones to prime, while most of the market fades and does nothing, effectively losing money and opportunity. As usual, in the end, I'm giving exactly two plays, which are at the exact bottom at this stage. One of them I'm holding myself. No time to waste, press the like button, let's get into today's video. Now, the first coin on the list is Launch Coin, the biggest coin of the whole narrative, which is ICM. I have a resistance line here, which I drew on this chart way back, which served as support, and at this stage it's the core resistance for this coin. As we can see in the yesterday pump of the market, what actually happened is we tapped exactly into this resistance area. Thus far we get rejected. We had a pretty good green imbalance, which definitely shows that there is a demand from the buyers in terms of actually pushing the price of the coin up and acquiring this asset from there, and we are going higher from these levels. We definitely have a set of higher highs on the chart, along with double bottom that we can see right here. From my point of view, this chart looks actually primed. We should be going at least to the new all-time high, which is more than $360 million from there. Ideal entry point, I won't say is now. First ideal entry point was at the second bottom because it confirmed the double bottom. This was the first ideal entry point. The second ideal entry point is us essentially reclaiming above this resistance and tapping it back. So somewhere around here, around $150 million, once we reclaim back this level, would be the ideal entry point in order to long or buy spot this coin and get a very nice swing trade with thick liquidity for at least a 2x. The next coin on the list is Useless. Useless had an absolutely insane run in last couple of weeks when the whole market was just dumping. Useless was just going up and up and up. It's almost like each and every on-chain asset holder was actually selling their meme coins and buying into Useless out there. Now I have several levels that I essentially outline for this coin beforehand. Top range. Within this range, I honestly see that this might be the local top for this coin within this range. I won't be buying at this stage. I would say it probably a bit risky to be entering currently, and if you would want to be entering this coin, the first targets that I'm essentially seeing is somewhere around $150 million. This often happens with the coins that outperform when none of the market is pumping. People are buying the tops because they're excited and they think that they will just go up forever. What happens is then other coins actually pumping, which I'm going to show you a bunch of today. And this coin actually starts to correct heavily. We've seen that with something like Troll, for example, a couple months before. It pumped when nothing was happening on the market. And when the market started to heat up, it eventually started to correct. This is the overview I'm seeing. The bearish case scenario in terms of the entry points is around $110 million. Buying in this area would always be a good decision. And absolute bottom level in terms of the support is $80 million for this coin. Next coin on the list is Hosika. Insane performance from yesterday. Very similar chart pattern to actual Launch Coin. We can also see it forming the bottom. Forming it here, and this was the confirmation to entry. This was the second bottom, and buying this green candle is always a right decision to actually make. Very few times if you're buying these green candles, you would actually end up in negatives. Right now, we can see that it reached the resistance point around the previous all-time high. Same thing was happening in coins like Sigma back at the end of the previous summer. Your ideal entry point, if you believe in the coin, if you think it will actually continue to go higher, is the retest of the first all-time high resistance right around $45 million. Solana coins tend to correct heavily, so the other level that you might essentially see the range, because you should always be buying in the range and don't look at the exact price target. The range is somewhere between $40 million and $45 million. I would say upside on this thing might be quite limited, although we can also see the liquidity is only $1.8 million, which means that there should be enough upside for this thing to go higher. First profit targets are in the range from $90 million to $110 million. I do believe following the current price action, it should be reaching these levels. The more bullish price target to take profits is somewhere around $160 million, which is a 3x from here, and 4x if you would wait, if you would set some limit orders on Axiom and actually be entering in the range level I just outlined. Next thing is Aura farm out there. Very interesting chart. I can definitely say that following this price action, there was a huge change of hands. Early holders were dumping and new people were essentially buying from the market. But it also looked a bit market maker to me, and the market make it in a very interesting way because it seems to me like they were specifically holding the floor around these levels. And it's quite funny because this level is $100 million in market cap. So it's almost like they were making fun on holding the bottom exactly at the levels around $100 million. Right now, we see a huge green imbalance on 4 hours, which shows that there is a huge demand for this coin. Partially it gets sold, but from my point of view, the trajectory should be going higher. And as you can see, what is happening currently is that we actually got rejected from the previous resistance point as well. But we tested it one time. Right now we are testing it the second time. I have the feeling that we should be breaking it higher, breaking it up from here. Again, ideal entry point is probably actually somewhere around now. If you see us dropping around 10%, I think you should be dumping the position and waiting for a re-entrance out there. But right now should be pretty nice level because we're actually in the process of reclaiming of this resistance, consolidating above it and preparing for the next move up. First profit targets I'm seeing for this coin is somewhere in the range of $350 million. And you should always use the range for profit taking. Never just set one goal out there. That's around 2.6x from here with very, very nice liquidity. And I would say that even if you're not a huge fan of meme coins out there, this on-chain thing can actually provide you with nice upside because definitely have some cabal running the whole situation out there. Bullish price target with Aura out there is $500,000. The rumor of the street is that Pump Fund is actually pumping this coin themselves, although probably there are some different whales involved. Next coin on the list is Mori. Absolutely insane move up in the last 5 days. This is a very, very interesting chart pattern we actually seen here. We had this low, right? And I will show you the chart pattern like this on the other chart as well. So you would exactly see what might be happening with this coin because it has a bigger market cap. Therefore, it takes more time to play out certain patterns on the chart. Usually, when I'm seeing this pattern, something like this, I can tell and I can see there is not a lot of bullish momentum for this coin at this moment. It doesn't mean it won't go up. It just means that probably it would require to print some more things on the chart in order for new holders to come in order to change hands, in order to pump like crazy from there. I am seeing us on this coin actually printing a new low, actually going lower, probably in this area. Worst case scenario, essentially the range between these trading zones, but I think you can have the trailing buy orders from $60 million to $48 million in terms of the entrance of this coin. And from there, I believe we would actually start to print the chart pattern to go to new all-time highs. Right now, I do believe it was one of the coins that pumped the first in the whole market setup. And I do believe, as usually with these type of coins, they need to take some more time in order to form proper chart patterns in order to essentially be ready to pump higher. And this is something that is definitely required. This is something that is definitely needed because if coins just go straight up, early holders are unfortunately dumping and they just block the whole straight up pump up price action on the market. Next thing is something I already mentioned briefly. And if you thought, well, on-chain is dead and I probably would have my entry, as you can see, most of these coins are up at least 2 or 2.5x. And these are like nice liquidity coins out there. As mentioned, at the end, I will show you 2 plays that are at the exact bottom because these plays that I'm showing currently, they are slightly higher already. They're not at the ideal entry points, but as mentioned at the end, I will show you 2 picks, one of them which I hold personally that are ideal at the bottom levels currently. Troll. We see this classic consolidation scenario at this stage, just constant back and forth. And some people might say, well, it's bearish and things like that. I would say it's actually bullish because it's the change of hands over time. Everyone who does not want to hold this coin, they just leave. Proper people are entering and the average entry of the participant of the whole of this coin is actually increasing, which means what? Which means that they would hold for longer because they would need to get a nice amount of X in order to feel the pumpage on this coin. Right now we're at $21 million in terms of the market cap. What I'm seeing here is the classic formation of cup and handle pattern on this chart. This is a bullish pattern and we are definitely getting some rejection resistance around the key levels, which is perfectly fine for this pattern out there. Again, I would say the main resistance area for this coin is somewhere around $28 million. Once we reclaim this level, once we above it, it's a very, very safe entry and it's almost a guaranteed journey to new all-time highs, which is not much from there, but it's still very, very nice. To give you some targets, 42 million I think is something we should be reaching conservatively, which is at 2x from here. 3x would be somewhere around $68 million, which I think we would essentially be reaching as well. If you are very bullish on the coin, you can set a target of $107 million, which is somewhere around 5x from here. This is less likely, but I do believe $79 million market cap it will be reaching, which means it's a 3x wish size from here. You can just buy and hold. Entry point around these levels is pretty nice, to be honest. We're exactly at the final rejection of the cup and handle pattern right now, which should transfer into bullish price action moving further. Next thing on the list is Labubu, and you cannot just see what is actually being printed on the chart right here. This is absolutely insane with each and every move. This thing is just getting ready for explosive, insane move up. Just look at this chart pattern. That's insane. Like a lot of these market makers for meme coins, it's almost like they're doing it the first time in their lives, and the charts that they're printing are so basic. They're just printing basic patterns on the chart so you can actually read them and you can enter at the very, very good levels out there. I do believe this thing at least should be going to new all-time highs. We can set out some levels. We can see what exactly will be happening right here. I do believe somewhere in the range of 100 million and 120 million we should be seeing, which is around 3x from these levels. This thing is primed to pump very, very soon. I do believe the entry point here is very, very nice. Your rejection would be us going below $23 million market cap. At that level, I think you should just dump the position and wait for a proper chart formation on this coin. Very, very bullish target is $170 million, which is 4x from here. Again, very, very nice wall trend. It also is receptive to the market because there is a bunch of older coins that are not doing anything with the pump of the market. This is bad. You should focus on the things that actually pumps along with the movements on the market. And the market right now is pumpy. Something I wanted to mention is Tonic as well. Now, it was very, very hard to figure out that it essentially would do like a 20x in one day. These type of things are very, very hard to predict. At this stage, we actually went down to somewhere around 500,000 in terms of the market cap. We pumped back up, kind of printing the second high. If you want to get an entry in this coin, well, with this type of things, it's pretty hard. I would probably give you the level somewhere around these trading areas. So somewhere around 1.1, 1.3 million. I think you can set out limit orders to actually buy and enter. And the second range, which I think you might be entering at, is somewhere between 700,000 in market cap and 860,000 in the market cap for this coin as well. It's very interesting. It's from the Bonk Launchpad platform. It's cabled in a way. So maybe this thing will actually be pushing higher and further as well. Now, guys, just look at this chart. This is actually Project 89, which is AI coin back from AI Meta out there as well. We just had a very interesting price action. Now, with these coins, you have to be very careful because most of the times they just pump slightly and then they just get downed by people who are underwater and they never actually reach previous all-time highs as well. In terms of this chart, the situation is quite similar to Tonic out there. I would not be entering at these levels. It's pretty hard to say whether or not we're going to previous all-time highs, which is $100 million in market cap, which is 16x from here, right? But a nice entry point, the best entry point would be somewhere around $3.7 million in market cap. In general, I think if you would be entering in this range, you should be doing all right. The situation I would be seeing on this coin is essentially something right here if we are continuing to go higher. And now, the two peaks which are actually at the exact bottom at this stage. One of them, the chart pattern on this one is very, very similar to the chart pattern I actually showed you already, right? First dump, right? Then some not very, very bullish price action, change of hands here, and the second dump. This one is classic. Unfortunately, it means that a lot of early holders are dumping hard, but I do like the uptrend that we're essentially forming at these levels. The key for us to actually be able to sustain this uptrend and move higher. This coin is heavily shielded by the death of Boba, and he got Boba to $250 million market cap. I kind of like the narrative of Mooncat because of the moonshot. I think for moonshot, it would be very, very interesting to pump meme coins on the product in order for them to essentially get some more people, get some more users, because pumping meme coins on any type of product, crypto product, is the best way to market anything. So from my point of view, we either are pumping here to new all-time highs, or we are dying, rejecting, and scamming from these levels. But I think it's a very, very key level. We just had a deviation below the support line, which is also interesting. It's very, very important for us to see whether or not we will be strong from these levels. But one scenario you have is essentially us going to new all-time highs. The second scenario you have is us rugging and just coming to zero from these levels. This key entry point is very, very nice, around $1 million in market cap. Rejection, I would say, would be around somewhere around $600,000. If it goes below $600,000, drop it. Probably it's not going to ever return out there. I would even say somewhere around $750,000. Current entry, I do believe, is very, very nice. Aura farm, the second thing out there, kind of being seen on the market as this like better play to Aura, and Aura is pretty big, and Aura farm was doing very, very nice before Aura essentially appeared in the first place, right? So I do like this chart because I was also showing this today, double bottom on this chart, right? This scenario is a bit more bearish here because essentially it seems like the second bottom is slightly lower than the first one, but sometimes it's been done in order to scare people out there, in order to make sure that they would essentially be exiting the coin. We have a double V pattern on this chart as well, which is generally a reversal bullish pattern from the levels of the coin. I would say that the current entry point is very, very nice. We are somewhere at the core resistance at the bottom formation of this chart. If we are actually continuing the bullish price action, I do believe we shall be seeing new all-time highs, at least with the first profit taking target somewhere in the range between of $8 to $10 million, which is a nice 8 to 10x. Again, guys, this is the bottom chart out there, and I do believe if you would be buying that, if you would be just be holding, you might be experiencing the nice amount of access. And also this coin is receptive to the movements that are present on the market. Now guys, this is new type of content for me. I can be doing this on a daily basis, providing you with these great and insane entry and exit points. What I would need to have from you in order for me to continue is free. Press the like button, leave meaningful comment of 10, 15 plus words, maybe about your play. Tell the audience about the coin that you're actually holding yourself. I need your response to figure out if this is something that you guys actually want from your end. Thank you very much for watching this video. Stay healthy and rich. I shall be seeing you tomorrow.